Folks, the US has sanctioned two crypto exchanges. Now, they're not widely used exchanges, not on my audience anyways, but I've actually heard the name of one of them being floated around in chat before. I don't think anyone's using it. They are two Russian exchanges because, Russia's not very popular in the world right now. And they're obviously accusing them of basically, facilitating cybercrime and money laundering. Obviously, like Russia is being targeted, and their exchanges, they probably do facilitate cybercrime and money laundering, but they're specifically being targeted because of the geopolitical situation. But anyways, the U.S. government on Thursday sanctioned two cryptocurrency exchanges and unsealed an indictment against a Russian national for his alleged involvement in the operation of several money laundering services that were offered by cyber criminals. So the two crypto exchanges are Cryptex and PM2BTC. PM2BTC I've never heard of. Cryptex, I've actually seen that name thrown around. So hopefully none of you are actually using that exchange because they have been sanctioned by the US and the feds are probably going to go after any interest they have in the United States. They have been tied to facilitating the laundering of cryptocurrencies, possibly obtained through cybercrime, and wouldn't really doubt that. This was a coordinated action with the Netherlands police and Dutch Fiscal Intelligence and Investigation Service as part of an ongoing law enforcement crackdown called Operation Endgame. So it's led to the seizure of 7 million euros or $7.8 million. The United States and our international partners remain resolute in our commitment to prevent cybercrime facilitators like PM2BTC and Cryptex from operating with impunity, said acting under Secretary of Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Bradley T. Smith. Treasury, in close coordination with our allies and partners, will continue to use all tools and authorities to disrupt the networks that seek to leverage the crypto assets ecosystem and to facilitate their illicit activities. So they've seized the funds, but I don't think they can actually seize the people after it because obviously they're not in the United States. They're kind of in Russia. They're funneled through illicitware and ransomware that are operating in Russia. So there's very little way they can actually stop this and nip the bud on it. It's also said to have provided direct CBC to ruble exchange services while failing to implement effective AML and KYC programs. Obviously, if you're running an illicit service, you're not going to run any kind of KYC, AML type of program. PM2BTC facilitates a substantially greater proportion of transactions with apparent links to money laundering activity in connection with Russian illicit finance as compared to 99% of other virtual asset service providers. So something like this might have actually been set up for this specific purpose. We know that Putin wants to get around sanctions, and this could be one of the ways he actually does it. Cryptex, in a similar vein, has been accused of advertising virtual currency services directly to cyber criminals, receiving over $51.2 million in illicit proceeds derived from ransomware attacks. So basically, they install a virus on your computer and then they basically hold you ransom. It further claimed complete anonymity when registering for an account. It is also estimated to have received no less than $720 million in transactions linked to illegal services used by Russia-based ransomware actors and cyber criminals. So that's where we are right now. So it is like Cryptex, which is the one I've actually heard around thrown in chat, and of course PMC2BTC, which I've never heard of before. So those are the two that the United States has sanctioned for right now. Tether has actually helped the FBI seize $6 million from scammers. Yes, Tether actually helped the U.S. track scammers. So maybe the U.S. will back off on Tether now because Tether is cooperating and they're helping the feds. It aided the recovery of stolen crypto by freezing scammer wallets, which then the FBI seized. So they allowed the FBI to get the funds, which is very interesting. Authorities have seized over $6 million worth of cryptocurrency from wallets connected to Southeast Asia-based scammers targeting U.S. citizens with confidence investing schemes. So they're basically saying these schemes are ones where you're supposedly investing in a crypto service, but they kind of just steal your money. The FBI traced stolen funds on the blockchain and located multiple crypto wallet addresses. So the official statement from the FBI Criminal Investigative Division Director is, these types of schemes are devastating and they're impacting thousands of Americans every day. The FBI has seen victims lose millions of dollars, take second and third mortgages on their homes, all in hopes of finding the next big investment opportunity. The seizure of millions of dollars is the proof the FBI will stop at nothing to find these fraudsters who insist on taking advantage of the American public. It doesn't matter where they are. We will leverage all your resources and work with our partners domestically and internationally to stop them from stealing people's hard-earned money. But it doesn't actually say like whether they're going to give the hard-earned money back, because they probably wash the funds through like mixers and stuff, and it's very hard to tell like where they got the funds from. Tether said it assisted authorities by freezing scammers' wallets, aiding the swift recovery of the stolen crypto. So maybe they can actually track it back. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Matthew Graves, says that typically the fraudsters and their accounts are located abroad, making it very difficult. In these scams, fraudsters trick U.S. citizens into believing they are transferring funds to cryptocurrency investment opportunities when, in fact, they are just unwittingly turning their money over to the fraudsters. And that's obviously what usually happens. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, victims of these scams are approached through various means, such as misdirected text messages, dating applications, and investment groups. After gaining users' trust, scammers recommend a crypto investment but direct them to investment platforms hosted on fraudulent websites that mimic legitimate ones. So obviously, they do kind of like a bait and switch type of thing, which does not surprise me at all. Some of the fraudulent platforms can appear to offer lucrative returns and allow temporary withdrawals. Behind the scenes, all deposits are routed to a wallet address controlled by scammers. FBI Criminal Investigative Decision Assistant Director Chad Yarborough said crypto investment scams, such as the one they just uncovered, are devastating and impacting thousands of Americans daily. So the surprising thing is that Tether is actually helping the feds. So like Tether is definitely like cooperating fully with the federal investigators. They're tracking people's wallets. So if you're using Tether, obviously you're kind of in that system. But then again, if you're not like scamming people and doing anything illegal, you're probably fine. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's good that they actually seized the $6 million from crypto scammers. I'm not really sure if it's even possible to filter that money back to the people that it was stolen from, but they have to stop these scammers from stealing more money. Otherwise, obviously, they're not going to stop. I don't know if they're actually going to catch the scammers, but maybe they can actually catch them in the act. At least they can stop their financial activities with the support of Tether, although that might give some people pause from using Tether because, they're being completely tracked while doing so, and Tether can obviously freeze their account. On another vein, LA cops were actually caught in a crypto extortion scheme, and they were actually dealing with one of the crypto bad guys. So Adam Iza, founder of crypto trading platform Zort, he paid Los Angeles sheriff deputies for information on the target he intended to rob. So basically, he extorted victims for crypto, and he actually paid off an amazing $280,000 to a couple of LA cops. That's a lot of money for a cop, obviously. And through that, he was able to get information for the victims. So the owner of a crypto company was charged in a case involving cryptocurrency fraud, bribery, and corrupt law enforcement officials, federal prosecutors said. Adam Iza, who ran the crypto trading platform Zort, accumulated wealth funneled through shell companies, spent on luxuries, and concealed the receipt of tens of millions of dollars without reporting income taxes, according to a U.S. FBI investigation. So they probably investigated him from the income taxes stuff, and they found this entire trail. So another thing of like people not covering their tracks right, obviously. They also paid 3 sheriffs to unlawfully file search warrants and assess police data. So these sheriffs are probably in a lot of trouble too. They obviously use their power in office corruptly, and they're going down as well. This guy was known as the Godfather, and he actually bragged about paying as much as $280,000 a month to the deputies, and he's accused of using police information to try to coerce one alleged victim into handing over a laptop used to store crypto. So basically, the crypto, he actually, on text, which they actually found, he said, that's why I pay $280K a month to the cops. Obviously, the cops and the police force are going to be implicated in this as well. And the cops probably got fired, if not got, referred to a prison cell. So the complaint alleges that the victim was subjected to a campaign of intimidation and harassment from ITSA. So once they had the information, they really couldn't do anything. Once they had the information, they really couldn't do anything else. The victims were just kind of like in his line of fire, and he kept on harassing them until he gave over the laptop. He received intimidating messages displaying his information in a police database, with one photo revealing the top portion of an LASD business card, along with a message and pictures of Easy's family and car. So this is definitely something serious. Basically, he was just extorting people for crypto, paying off cops, and this is all implicated. So yeah, like I guess he wanted the crypto because crypto is harder to track than, like bank transfers and stuff like that. But definitely like not a good look, and definitely not a good look for the cops. So basically that he was essentially just using the cops as pawns. So basically, like the statement says, during 2021 and 2022, LASD Deputy 1 and his business received approximately $154,933 and approximately $101,130 respectively from Zord Incorporated. He says business between September 2021, this is the actual police filing, and October 2021. Co-conspirator 1 paid LASD Deputy 1's personal account approximately $22,000 from her personal accounts, and between September 2021 and March 2022, a bank account for Dream Agency discussed paid LASD deputy's personal account approximately $198,149. So a lot of money being shuffled around, but this was a crypto extortion case. I'm glad they got everything, and I think this time they can actually give money back to the people that it was stolen from because they know who it actually is. And last of all, but not least of all, MiCA, the new European rules, they might actually get crypto firms to actually exit stage left, but to the Middle East. So it's a regulatory framework, and that could actually get a mass exodus to the Middle East because the Middle East obviously is much more friendly from a regulatory perspective. Europe's upcoming cryptocurrency regulatory framework could reduce the number of Web3 firms in the region and introduce new centralization-related concerns. The Markets in Crypto Assets MiCA bill is the world's first comprehensive regulatory crypto framework, widely seen as a net positive for the industry. Probably is a net positive. While MiCA legitimizes the crypto ecosystem, it also threatens to introduce consolidation among crypto firms, according to Anastasia Plotnikova, CEO and co-founder of Fidium, a regulatory and blockchain infrastructure firm focused on institutions. Obviously, it does provide some stability in terms of like regulatory certainty, because it is very comprehensive, but it is more restrictive than people would actually like. And they're saying, I'm afraid it will lead to consolidation between European and American companies, and they will just move somewhere to the Middle East. The European Union has done amazing things in harmonizing legislation, but enforcement comes down to local and national authorities and will vary greatly. So there's been people touting MiCA, people complaining about MiCA. I think there were definitely some things in there about crypto that they didn't actually like. But, laws, it's actually kind of like stamped down, and we'll see what actually happens. So MiCA is making crypto just like TradeFi. Will small firms suffer the most consolidation? So while the compliance expert remains optimistic about the European crypto industry, she remains concerned about the centralization concerns and small firms being overpowered by larger ones. It will lead to a lot of consolidation. It will be a lot more predatorial. Even VC practices for larger crypto companies just buying the talent, buying this off the shelf, but it is what it is. The bill is also making the Web3 industry more akin to traditional finance. And that's always hard for Web3 and finances to be more akin to traditional finance because they kind of operate in different ways. Crypto is becoming just like TradeFi. The more money you have, the more assets under management, the easier it is to scale. And obviously, you can influence like the entire market if you have enough assets. So I think it is going to be like more and more like maybe dominated by the big guys, but mainly just Bitcoin. So the European banks are actually preparing for this implementation. And they're preparing their digital asset offering. But of course, it's easier for them to actually implement this than it is for like smaller companies, which actually could incur like considerable costs in respect to like how much money they actually generate. A lot of this does have to do with stablecoins. For instance, Societe Generale, the world's 19th largest banking group by assets, has partnered with Bitpanda to launch a MiCA-compliant stablecoin, the euro-denominated euro convertible. So the partnership is a crucial step in making stablecoins a part of the wider financial system, according to G. Mark Stenger, CEO of Societe Generale Forge, who wrote, "The partnership is a crucial step towards achieving our vision of making stablecoins more a core component of the global financial system. Together with Bitpanda, we are confident in our ability to offer European users a stable, secure, and accessible digital currency. So, like, this is a collaboration between these two. I do think you're going to see like more banks partnering up with crypto exchanges, but I do think you're going to see some consolidation and some crypto companies moving out of Europe altogether because of these regulations, and they will actually induce a lot of burden and costs. And that's what some crypto experts are afraid of. They're putting together a regulatory framework for the United States as well. And some people are afraid that, a lot of talent's going to exit the United States. I think like once they adjust the framework, they'll probably come back to both the EU and the US, especially the US, because they want the US market. We still have a lot more disposable income here than anywhere else in the world, and they don't want to miss out on that. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.